going on, everybody? It's Kolev. So I just finished recording a part of this intro and realized my audio was completely messed up. So I'm kind of doing this again, and I'm kind of not going to get a lot of the points or the real-time process of some of the stuff that I'm talking about. But the main project, or the only project in this video that I'm going to be talking about, and the project that has tested the waters and has been around for a while, is going to be Polarnodes. It's a project I talked about a while ago. This project came out back in January, and around the same time as Thor, actually. So it's been around for a while in crypto years, crypto time, and it has survived. You know, Thor had a crazy, massive, insane run, and and the project itself is still really good. Do not get me wrong, please. Thor is an amazing project, but Thor, as well as many other projects, including the one that essentially started most node projects, with that being strong nodes, Polarnodes has maintained its price relatively well and continues to maintain that price through the life of the project to this day. And of course, along the way, Polarnodes had its ups and downs. It had a couple times where it ran up to around like $8-10, ran back down, but ultimately throughout the entire life of the project, it's at least maintained itself from 2 to 3. Obviously it's been a little bit higher, and it's been a slight bit below 2, but overall it's maintained its price extremely well. And I really have to commend the devs, the community team. And in this video, it's going to primarily be focusing on an interview that I had with the lead community manager at Polarnodes, Sheeblord. And he's an awesome guy. This is a doxed interview. He doxed to me, doxed to the public. It's really awesome to see devs do that. Really does put a lot of trust in the project. So it's awesome that he did do that. He goes over a lot of very important things of what Polar was and how it came to be what it is today, because it's honestly a day and night difference. There used to be a fork basically of another project, and it looked not too good, and now it looks very professional, very solid. Things that used to be kind of complicated are easily understandable. The UI UX design overall in Polarnodes has substantially gotten a lot better. So I think that this video is going to be very informative for all of you that are in, and those of you that aren't in. I think this is going to be a very awesome video, because he's going to go step by step through some of the different changes in the project and the UI, how things work, what things do, in case you are still confused. So it's definitely going to be a very informative video. So those of you that are interested, make sure you stay tuned for that. Really quickly, what I had previously recorded was showing you the process of migrating your nodes from V2 to V3, because there is, you do have to do that. One thing I literally just found out when I just recorded that previous section was that if you didn't migrate your nodes over, your nodes weren't accumulating rewards. And I'm sure they said that somewhere, but I'm in so many projects, I'm doing so many things. I meant to have this video out a long time ago, but again, I'm getting caught up in a lot of personal things, so I wasn't able to put it out as quickly as I wanted to, but I am gonna put it out today. So I'm gonna basically show you the process. I can't exactly show you the process anymore here, but I'm gonna show you the process of what you would do. So essentially what you're gonna do is, obviously you're gonna have no nodes down here. It's just gonna be blank, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the migrate node section. You are going to click on the node types that you have. So Fuji, for example, shows, so since I didn't refresh the page, this still helps because it shows you. So it shows that I had 5 in V2, so it's going to populate that there. Here you're going to put how many you want to migrate over. Obviously you want to migrate all of them over, so you click all 5, but in some weird case scenario that you didn't want to do that, you would put a different number. But you just do that for all of the nodes you have, the node types that you have. Click migrate, and it's going to migrate your nodes over. You're going to approve the transaction, and they're going to populate as singular nodes because they're now NFTs. And they have a whole marketplace. I'm not going to get super deep into the new stuff, because Sheeblord is going to talk about everything. Like I said, he goes very detailed in a lot of things. He's an awesome guy. So that's going to be it for me right now, guys. I hope y'all do enjoy this video. Have a great day or night, whatever time you're watching this video. Have an amazing one. I'll see you next time. What's going on, everybody? It's Kolev. I'm here with Sheeblord, one of the community managers of Polarnodes. he's taking the time to go and do this interview and kind of explain a lot of the things about Polar and what Polar is and where it started from. So Shi, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell your part of what you do for Polarnodes and things of that nature.
Yeah, sure. Hey, just want to thank you first for bringing us on here. We're more than happy to do AMAs with you. So it's been a great time in our space, especially since the last video that you guys made. So my name is Neil, for those who've seen the AMA with James Pelton, or ShibBear in Discord, or ShibLord on Twitter. I'm the community leader for Polar. I've been in this position since, I believe, late January with them. So my main position is basically just being that community manager role, engaging with the community, working with the core team in order to bring a better product to our community so that we can continue to grow and prosper as a project.
Okay, yeah, awesome. I mean, yeah, Polar has come a long way, man. Back in January, I remember where it started and where it is now. It's like almost a completely different project, and that's pretty awesome to see the dedication that you and your team have been going throughout this whole time. But for all the people that haven't watched my video back then, and don't really know like what Polarnodes is, can you kind of explain kind of what Polarnodes was in the beginning and what it took and like where it is now? Because again, like I said, it's a whole shift of kind of what it used to be.
Yeah, sure. So we actually went live on January 11th of 2022. So we've been around for officially 3 months today. So today's our little anniversary here.
That's awesome.
When we first started out, it was a very basic, very simplistic node project. 1-tier node, 30 Polar it costs. It generated a daily yield. We still see a few of those out there today, but obviously that is not the thing of the future. So from there, we grew to an update that we had in February that allowed us to basically have several tiers of nodes. So then we went from a 1-tier system to a 5-tier node system, which allowed different entry points, so different barriers of entries that could accommodate the lower investors all the way up to the whales of the space, so to speak. As we kept growing from there, then we had another major update that just went live yesterday that converted us from a Polarnodes name to which we dropped the nodes, and now we are Polar Financial. That allows us to kind of grow off of that node industry there and kind of get into the real business aspect of Polar itself. So now we do still have those NFTs. We basically converted nodes to NFTs that still have a daily yield to them, so you're still kind of getting that same node benefit. But it also then created an environment that isn't just a node project anymore. All of our nodes turn into different NFTs with incredible artwork. There's a lottery system called Lucky Boxes where you can choose to purchase those at a little bit extra cost than that NFT would be itself for the chance at a bigger or better NFT. It's a bit more rare and has some different perks and different rewards to it. And that is kind of just scratching the surface. So as we are continuing to grow and develop, this update was, I'm calling it a phase 1. They call it a phase 2, but it's a phase 1 of Polar as a business and moving off of this node phase and into the future here.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. You just look at you kind of hit the nail on the head because nodes in general, they're all kind of dying, right? It's like most of the node projects that even spawned up in February are seeing a crazy downturn. There's not a lot of utility in them, so you just kind of see them die. So what do you think, out of all the things you kind of said that your project is now from where it started, what do you think is the difference between Polarnodes compared to these other projects on why it's surviving and why it's really flourishing in a space where nodes are kind of all dying?
Yeah, so that is an incredible concern that some of these, especially the bigger projects, are dealing with right now. I do believe that a lot of them do have a way out and they are working towards it, but that is also kind of relevant to how we structured this. Right. So right now, a lot of those projects have what I'll consider a runaway emissions issue, where they need more utility in order to kind of take up for that emissions being yielded daily from their nodes. Where Polar differentiates is we did have a little bit more of a slow and steady growth rather than a big spike with mass amounts of purchases coming in. Right. And while growth is still great, organic growth is the key. So from here, we have constantly been innovating. We are always working from the core team and the community team side. We are constantly in the Discord, constantly on Twitter, always trying to build up to create a better product for the consumer here, for the basically for the investors. Simultaneously, our community has been incredibly loyal to us. We've had our fair share of FUD in January and February, and a lot of hate rolling around, of course, and many of you have seen those. We've just been growing consistently, constantly, slow and steady. We are literally winning the race because of that slow and steady growth, the constant innovation. That, our community is, in my opinion, the best out there. So as far as what differentiates us, I believe it's just that true dedication, that day in and day out, building up to something to be better for the space, better for the consumer, and better for the project in and of itself.
No, yeah, I think that definitely makes sense, man, because there's, like I said, there's a ton of projects that aren't failing. They're trying to innovate stuff, but I think the sheer amount of content and innovation and new things that you're adding to the website are really the main factor in why your project is doing so well. Because I mean, you got things like Thor nodes even that they're starting to fall. They came out around the same time as y'all, but they've made a dramatic decrease in their price, and they're trying to do stuff, and I'm sure that eventually they will build back up. But it's just really impressive to see such a steady price like that y'all have been in this whole time. So did you kind of want to go over some of the project features? Did you want to kind of just walk through the new website, the new UI, and kind of just show some of the things of the website?
Yeah, sure, I'd love to. I'm going to share my screen here so we can go over the new website here. Okay. One of the first things I want to go into in the change of the website is we've changed from Polarnodes to polar.financial. So our URL has changed to polar.financial. Sorry, a little bit of a tongue twister there. Polar.financial. So here you can see this is our new website. If any of you were around in the Januaries and Februaries of the world, this is incredible work. Huge shout out to all of the people who are putting this together. It's so crisp. It's honestly, it's truly incredible. One thing here that I'll kind of get into a little bit more, but we now kind of have an influencer program. So it's called Support a Creator. I'll go into that just a little bit, but basically anybody that meets certain qualifications for an influencer, you can get a code from us. And as you sort of bring out to your product and kind of push Polar itself, you can give them a code, which will then make money for you as well. So it's almost like you're helping yourself, you're helping the community, you're helping the project in and of itself. So a very great thing. You might be a little bit interested in the Support a Creator if you have not yet read about it.
Yeah, no, it sounds cool. This is the first time I heard about it.
So from here, this is our main page. Lots of great information. I highly recommend you guys come up on this website here. Very easy to navigate: home, documents, manifesto, the chart, where to buy the node. We are whitelisted on Trader Joe's. So you can just go to Trader Joe and type in Polar, and that'll be us. We have our roadmap displayed and all that good stuff here. But first, I'm going to go into our app. So again, if any of you were around back in the Januaries and Februaries of the world, this is where it's at here now. We've done so much updating. As you can see, we just did have a migration yesterday, so don't worry about that there. We do have some instructions. If you did not migrate your nodes, come into the Discord. I'll guide you through it personally. First, I'd just like to introduce you to the dashboard. We just have some of the protocol stats here. Right now, Polar price is right at $3, market cap of $3 million because we have a $1 million supply. 20,500 total nodes. That number is going to go up just as people migrate. Some of them are still in the old contract. We're getting it through it there. Once you're loaded into this screen and you're connected to your wallet, you'll be able to see your nodes. You'll be able to see the balance that you have in your wallet, your daily rewards in Polar, as well as pending rewards, which will be accumulating. And those will be displayed post our claims tax or our ROI tax in this case. So that way it's a very understandable and clear method of what you are getting there. The next page here, it's the node station. This is sort of similar to the last one, except we actually have our NFTs and our lucky boxes now displayed here in this program. So again, total nodes, it'll show your nodes as well as the balance. And these are our different standardized NFTs. I'm going to open up one of these for you here. That's very awesome. Cool, very good work by the people who made these NFTs. So great artwork there. And this is also for reference. If you did get that creator code, if you do not know how to get that and you're an influencer, jump on our Twitter, jump on our Discord, DM one of us directly. We'll get you hooked up. We'll end up giving you a code. You give this code out. When someone's going to go buy one of these, that has read your thing because they want, they want 10 Everest because they're big buyers and they put in your code, you get a good percentage return to you for basically helping the product out and helping the page out.
Okay, that's awesome.
All right, so next here are the node lucky boxes. So these are the lottery systems that I kind of talked about earlier, and I'd love to go through all the different graphics here, but they are just incredible work by our artists creating all these for us here. Lucky boxes are a lottery. So you purchase this. So in this case, you're going to purchase this with 1,500 Polar, even though the Everest costs 1,200 Polar, as it gives you a chance of getting 2 different rare Everests, and at the lowest case, you'll get that Everest. So the worst case scenario in this box, you will then have a 300 Polar difference in ROI, or you get some of these extra Everest, which are, yes, they're pretty incredible in what they bring to the space and bring in additional bonuses. You can kind of just navigate through here very cleanly, very quick twitch. All these have different ones. Thus far, this icy lucky box seems to be the most popular because the cost benefit to it, it's 500 Polar. So highest chance you have of losing is 40 Polar, and I say losing just the chance of additional ROI time. And that gives you chances of getting that tier 4 minimum or different, significantly more upgraded NFTs.
So actually I have a question. So what for the emerald and diamond like variants of each of them, what are the differences between those and just the regular node itself?
So on the most basic difference will be their daily return. So I'm trying to see if I could find one of these here for us. Cool, we got a couple in the marketplace.
Okay.
So as we open up this here, that's a little bit cut off just because of the marketplace thing.
Right.
Trying to see if we have an exact. So I was trying to find to see if we have to have them all displayed here, but it doesn't look like we do, unless we do, and I just don't quite know yet. All right, so I'll try to find them there, but basically speaking, you'll get an additional daily yield for each of these, and the highest one in here will then bring it up to. Let me make sure I get my numbers right.
Okay.
Like the Everest Emerald is a 50% boost on that daily yield. So instead of the 35 Polar per day, you get 52.5 Polar per day from that one. And those are all obtained by these lucky boxes. So that'll be in here. The chances of getting them is varied, obviously, by the different lucky box tiers. They're not going to be an incredibly high chance. However, with this tier here, you do have a 5% chance of getting the Emerald Everest. You have a 15% chance of getting the Diamond Everest. And the Diamond one will give you a 28% boost. So it's 45 Polar per day for the Diamond one. Or, if worst case, you get to this Everest, which will then yield you 35 Polar per day, which is still pretty impressive.
Okay, no, yeah, for sure. So the only way to get the Emerald or Diamond are through the lucky boxes.
Correct. So they'll all be available from the lucky boxes, unless you would like to purchase them if someone lists them for sale in this marketplace.
Right. Okay, awesome.
So lucky boxes are pretty cool. I'm a little bit of a gambler myself, so this one here, this icy lucky box, kind of has my attention.
Oh yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah. So next thing I'll kind of go into here is a Polar NFT marketplace. Just to be very clear, our basic NFTs are not available to be sold on any open source NFT listing area. So you cannot take your new NFTs and go sell them on NFT Trade or Tofu or any of that. They are transferable. So if you would like to transfer them between wallets, I can guide you through that as well through the Discord or Twitter. I have a guide already in there set up for it. The only ones that are able to be sold are the lucky boxes themselves or any of these special NFTs that you would obtain from the lucky boxes. So in here, let's say you were to get this, Everest Diamond. I guess someone put a current bid of 5,000 Polar, which is quite a bit. But hey, if they get that, then so be it. But you can come in here. We have a very low floor price because they're only with the special ones or the lucky boxes. So, if you want to just buy some of these and sell them for a little bit less to try to do that, I guess you're more than welcome to. No one's going to really stop you from doing that. It's like a modified free market for the NFT marketplace without, of course, collapsing the protocol. which unfortunately we have seen with some of the other products, or excuse me, projects that have NFTs to them.
Right, right. Okay.
And the next major thing is just the My NFT section. Whenever you have your NFTs or your nodes here, they'll all be displayed. I would connect to one of my personal wallets, but for simplicity purposes, there will be a checkbox by each of them. So you can choose, let's say you have 10 of these NFTs and you only want to claim one or two of them. You can choose those two, hit claim, it'll just claim those two, or you can check, claim all, and you'll claim all at the same time. Trying to make it very easy and very fluent for the user here to claim a large, amount of NFTs, because some people have in the hundreds. So maybe they don't want to claim their Everest, but they want to claim everything else. We make it pretty easy.
Okay.
This is just going to be how you migrate. If you had previous nodes under the last contract and you look to migrate them over to NFTs, I have also a step-by-step guide on the Discord. However, you would just select the NFT that you're seeking to migrate. This one here will auto-populate by your contract address, and then you just fill in the counter to equate if you had 4 Everest, and this would populate as 4. You bring that up to 4, hit migrate, and then you're good to go.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and that's all definitely easy to follow, and I think this video is definitely going to help out a lot of people that may be kind of struggling with some of that. But having all that in the Discord, I think, is pretty awesome as well. A lot of people are really new to nodes and really new to crypto in general. So I think tutorials and stuff like this is definitely very helpful for new investors trying to come into the space. So thank you for doing that. Not a lot of projects do that at all.
Yeah, no problem at all. And especially as we grow, it's becoming increasingly complicated. So we try to simplify it for the investors. Like I said, we moved away from the basic node project. So we really need to help out the investors as we go forward. But none of it's overly challenging. Nobody needs to have a degree in cybersecurity to navigate our website or anything like that. So no worries. Join us in the Discord, join us in the Twitter space, and we will be happy to guide you through.
Awesome, man. Thank you. There's a lot of really important information here, so make sure y'all are following along. Go back in the video if you have any questions, and obviously he's very helpful and he's always there and helping out with the community, so feel free to contact him as well. There's one last question. What are your plans? What are Polar's plans for the future? What are some of the things you can share? Some of the spicy details that kind of could get people pretty excited for things to come.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that the core team is working on, I am not allowed to release just yet.
Okay.
However, I will say when it was shared with me, the level of excitement that I got was like childhood excitement. So what they're building right now behind the scenes, the goal of all these projects in the node space, in my opinion, is to get off of the requirement for people to purchase these nodes or NFTs in order to sustain the protocol. What the core team is building will get us off that model completely and entirely in a tiered system. So one day they're still going to generate yields. Like, we are still going to be able to do all that, the same thing that nodes do. We just need to bring more value to the Polar token and more value to the brand of Polar. So that whole reason that we got off the Polar node name is so that we can grow into this. And our contract is now basically 10 contracts put into one that allow it to be pluggable, and we can change different things and within the contract. So they've set us up for incredible success as we get down the road here a little bit. And I would just say stay tuned, because as soon as I can announce it, I'm going to start screaming it from every single rooftop I can find.
Okay, awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure talking to you, man. And I think you definitely shared a lot of information. There's a lot of educational content here that I think a lot of people will enjoy. Crypto is really about educating yourself and understanding exactly what the project is, what it's doing, what their plans are in the future, and how to actually do the stuff in the protocol. So again, thank you so much for going through all that and kind of explaining the DApp and the future of the project. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate your time and look forward to talking to you again sometime in the near future.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.